Hello everybody, welcome back to Blues Focus TV for another full-time match reaction video and a fantastic point on the road today against top of the table Sheffield United, a 1-1 draw and a really good result from Blues. Obviously Sheffield United have started the season fantastically, and coming into this game, I've got to be honest, despite our recent run of good form, I did expect a loss. We know Sheffield United are a very strong team on paper, they set up very well. And given their home form, winning the last 4 home games before today, I certainly expected a loss. But Eustace came in with a good game plan in mind, defensively strong and sound throughout the entirety of the game. Not a lot that could have been done about the Sheffield United goal, but we'll get onto that later. Going forward, we created chances for ourselves. And overall today, we just looked like a really strong championship side. We certainly made Sheffield United look like a very average team. But first half in particular, Sheffield United did have the majority of the ball and were creating the majority of chances. But the way we defended, we didn't let many balls through. We didn't allow them many shots on goal. Certainly from Ruddy all the way to the attack, everyone did their job. Interesting to see Longolo in the team today. It was really nice to see him get an opportunity actually. Obviously, we signed him in the summer. And today he was making his first appearance, debutant appearance. Played in the left wing back role. We know he's a natural left back, but played left wing back today and certainly looked okay. I thought a few times down the left hand side, Bulldog did get the better of him, and a few questionable crosses into the box. But overall, aside from that, did put in a few good challenges, made a few nice passes, 1 or 2 balls into the box which were successful. One in the first half, I remember, went to Chong, and the shot was blocked sadly. But overall, given his first game in the Championship, I think it was a decent performance from him, and I'm glad to see him given an opportunity. But defensively, like I said, really solid, really strong. I'd like to include Bielik in that defensive setup as well. I think I mentioned it in the last video, but he's been a fantastic addition to this Blues squad in my opinion. Like I said, I feel a lot of the time when we play the 5-back formation before Bielik came in, I felt our midfield was a little too attacking. Often it consisted of Jordan James, Junior Bakuna and George Hall, and I feel we didn't really have that defensive option in the middle of the park. But since Christian Bielik has come in, I think he's been solid. He's been absolutely brilliant. It shows what a fantastic player he can be when he's injury-free, but brilliant again today for Blues. I think he's been brilliant since he's come into the club, and I think he's a really strong addition to the side. But obviously, the second half came along, and we were defensively sound, just like we were in the first half. Created a few more chances for ourselves, which is really good. Kept the ball really nicely as well. Through periods of the second half, had a chance very early on, which I haven't seen a lot of people talk about really, but ball came over from John Ruddy from the back. Troy Deeney headed it onto the foot of Scott Hogan, nicely saved by Fodringham in goal, but a really good chance that for Hogan, came in very quickly, so can't expect him to do too much better, but certainly a chance for us there to go 1-0 up. Sadly we didn't, but it was a really good opportunity for Scott Hogan, and hopefully he can continue to play the way he has been recently. Obviously that hat-trick against West Brom, but it's good to see him creating chances for himself and getting shots on goal. So really happy with how Hogan's doing at the moment, as well as Troy Deeney, but we'll get onto him in a little bit. Obviously then, not too long later, Sheffield United did manage to get the first goal of the game through Ollie McBurney. Questionable defending maybe. I don't think it was the easiest situation to deal with, obviously from a free kick, which was delivered into the box, and the ball bounced around a little bit. It was around Trusty and Longolo's feet, I believe, but Ollie McBurney was just fastest to it, and he was able to get his foot onto it and bury it in the top roof of the goal. Potentially could have been cleared, but as I said, it was just a bit of a scrappy goal, and McBurney just happened to get his foot to it first. So some may say poor defending. In my opinion, it's just one of those scrappy goals we see in the Championship quite regularly, particularly from Blues. But obviously not too long later, Troy Deeney was able to get his first goal of the season, and I'm over the moon. The goal came from Troy Deeney. We know he struggled so far this season. I think in the last 3 or 4 games, he's certainly shown what a good striker he can be, although he hadn't scored. He was certainly showing promising signs, particularly against West Brom. Thought he played some beautiful passes, assisted really well, holds up the ball really well. So glad to see him get his goal, because he deserved it. He deserves it the way he's been playing in these last few games. And I've said in a previous video, once Deeney gets his first goal, I think that's when the floodgates will open and he'll get many more. So hopefully he he can do that. But it was a nicely taken finish as well. Good first touch, good pass from Chong over the top into Troy Deeney, and then obviously finished it pretty much in the centre of a goal. But it's certainly a finish you expect Troy Deeney to make, and he did really convincingly. So over the moon for him to get his first goal of the season. I think Hogan and Deeney, once they're firing and once they start linking up, I think they can really be fantastic for us this season. But then the game sort of filtered out. John Ruddy made a huge save in the 90th minute. Again, I haven't seen a lot of people talk about that save on various platforms like Twitter, but it was a really, really important save. Can't remember who was through on goal, but he spread really well, made himself look big and managed to make the save. Just quickly on John Ruddy, I think he's been superb this season. I've said it a few times now, but some of the saves he's made have been fantastic. I think there was a post a few weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, showing the Championship 11 of the season so far based on statistics, and John Ruddy, to no surprise, was the goalkeeper. Although we've let in some goals this season, I think very few have been at the fault of Ruddy. He's just been solid, the way he deals with crosses, the way he distributes the ball out from the back. He can, obviously, like most keepers, kick a goal kick out of play, but that's to be expected. Not every single goal kick can be inch perfect, but the way he distributes the ball, the way he demands his box or commands his box, the way he comes out for crosses, I think he's been absolutely superb and a great addition to the squad. So overall, today, a really good point away from home against Sheffield United. Moves us up to 15th in the table, which is a good position to be. I think Eustace will be happy with that start, and I think Blues fans will be happy with that start. We don't expect miracles. We're not the richest club in the world. We don't have the money to buy all these fantastic players and move up the table. But it's nice to see us slowly progressing so far this season. If we can move up the table week on week, that'd be brilliant. It's great to see the youngsters still given opportunities as well. Nice to see George Hall and Joe Bellingham come on today. Both look good. When they came on, did their jobs and did what they had to do well. So that was really nice to see. But overall, as a team, as a collective, I think a really, really solid performance, particularly, and I've emphasised this a few times, but particularly defensively today, I thought we were fantastic. So really good point on the road, over the moon, and I'm sure you watching at home are too. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep right on.